Inflammation is a term that we are hearing more and more lately. Inflammation is essentially your body's immune response. It fights infections and helps your body to heal an injury. But if it continues in the body for long periods, it can actually lead to diseases in the body like arthritis or heart disease, cancer, ulcers, colitis, acid reflux, and even skin conditions like rosacea, and can be the cause of many other common health conditions that we hear about.
Health is so much more than just a number on a scale or a specific body shape. I have learned so much about my body and what it's capable of since I started using Whoop. Since I hit my 30s, I've become a little bit more conscious of the fact that what I do right now for my health will determine how I feel in 5 or 10 years' time. So I wanted to take my health a little bit more seriously. And Whoop has been such an incredible tool and so useful for me to understand myself so much better. It's a wearable screenless device that gives you insights on everything from your sleep, your strain, and your recovery. They use the measure of strain instead of something like steps because they found that it's actually a more accurate depiction of activity. What I've loved most about using Whoop is that it is so specific to me. It personalizes the insights and recommendations based on my individual data and needs, rather than giving the same recommendation to everyone. It also has this great journal feature that monitors daily behaviors that could be affecting your sleep and recovery that you wouldn't even realize. I have spent nearly a year studying these insights in order to truly understand my body on a deeper level. It's helped me move more, push myself, reach my goals, and be way more mindful about my sleep patterns, and just be more attentive to what my body truly needs. If you are someone who has been thinking about reducing alcohol or cutting out altogether, Whoop is actually doing a challenge starting in October. It is so much easier to stick to your goals or stick to something like that when you have a community that is doing it with you. Use this link to learn more about Whoop and join the community.
Sometimes underlying inflammation can continue for years before you even realize. And some of the common symptoms of a rise in inflammation prior to getting the disease in the body are things like general weakness, fatigue, recurring fever, aches and pains in your joints, unexplained muscle soreness, abdominal pain, skin rashes, and digestive problems. Even things like mood swings and unexpected highs and lows in your energy levels can be because of increased inflammation in the body. So some really basic day-to-day issues that you probably aren't realizing could actually be a sign that inflammation is increasing in your body. Simple things like adding in certain foods and spices into your daily diet can help prevent and reduce inflammation in your body. These anti-inflammatory foods are rich in something called antioxidants. These are little compounds which reverse or reduce the damage that inflammation causes to the body. They're like little protective guards that fight inflammation for you. The goal is to try and get all these different colored vegetables and fruits when you go and do your shopping. You don't need all of them on this list, but picking 1 or 2 from each section can be a great way to know you're getting all the nutrients that you need. So red fruits and veggies like strawberries, apples, plums, watermelons, and grapefruit. Purple fruits and veggies like cabbage, blackberries, and blueberries. Orange and yellow fruits and veggies like pumpkins and carrots, papayas and oranges. Your green veggies and dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, chard. And your cruciferous veggies like broccoli, green beans, and asparagus. A little note to remember is that usually when you see the deepest color on the fruit, that's where the phytonutrients are. All the different colors of fruits and veggies contain different types of these phytonutrients. But actually for the plant, these phytonutrients are their defense mechanisms, their immune system to protect them against fungi or viruses and infections, or even being eaten by animals. They're also beneficial to us. These phytonutrients contain antioxidants, and so having a wide range of fruits and veggies with different colors gives you a wide range to protect against environmental, cellular, and body toxins that could lead to inflammation. So, if you're eating an apple or a plum or a peach, don't peel the fruit. Eat it in its whole form to get the most out of it. There's even some found in teas, especially green tea, and cocoa or chocolate. But it's really useful keeping a list for yourself of all of these veggies and fruits that we spoke about. And then whatever's in season, you can tick off and use as part of your shopping list. And applying the same rules as you approach each meal. So for breakfast, you might have a fruit smoothie or oatmeal with a few berries. For lunch, maybe you can have a salad with dark leafy greens with colorful veggies on top. Maybe have some beans and nuts and seeds in there too. For dinner, maybe a simple tofu stir fry with your protein, some more colorful vegetables, and maybe a little fruit crumble for dessert. The more color and variety you add to your meal, the more beautiful it is, the more tasty it is. So according to Ayurveda, which is the most ancient health science to exist, Inflammation is actually an increase of fire or heat in the body. And so a cooling diet is recommended. This means you avoid or reduce consumption of nightshades. Although these do contain phytochemicals, overconsumption of these can result in an increase of inflammation in the body rather than a reduction. And unfortunately, the base of many meals nowadays are these nightshades, especially tomatoes. So what are nightshades? They include things like tomatoes, as I mentioned, eggplants, white potatoes, and bell peppers. But if you really want to eat them, I have a cheat for you. It's recommended that if you peel off the skins and take out the seeds, it actually takes away a lot of the inflammatory compounds that can affect you. You might be surprised to know that onion and garlic can also fall into this category. I know, it's so sad. I love me a garlic pasta. And although they contain many medicinal and healing properties, even when I was a dietitian, if someone had something like IBS, which is an inflammation of the gut, onion and garlic were often identified as irritants for the gut, and so it was the first thing that was recommended to cut out of their diet. Anything that irritates eventually causes inflammation in the body. I feel like fats seem to have got a really bad rep lately, but honestly, just like everything, there are good and bad fats. Bad fats are usually found in all of those cheeky things like overly processed foods, cakes and biscuits, deep fried foods and refined oils. These are actually really hard to digest in your body and can cause overheating of your liver, causing inflammation in the body. This blue zone diet consists of many of the food groups that I've shared today, and especially the healthy fats. These good fats are found in things like avocados or chia seeds, flax seeds, nuts, extra virgin olive oil. And omegas are a common fatty acid, which is in fats, that relate to inflammation. These are most commonly found in fish oils, but the vegan alternative comes from algae or seaweed. I say alternative, but this is also fish food. The fish eat it, people eat the fish and get the omegas. So we can save some fishies and just eat the seaweed instead. Or to make it easier, there are some really great vegan omega capsules that you can just pop in your mouth in the morning with the rest of your vitamins. I decided to cover spices in a whole other video, and I'll leave the link to that below. But spices and herbs are one of my favorite ways to protect against inflammation. Dried and fresh herbs and spices are concentrated and rich in antioxidants, more so than most other foods. Not only do they protect you, they also make everything taste so much better. And in the same way as different fruits and veggies have different properties and benefits, different colored spices are the same. Dried herbs like oregano, rosemary, thyme, parsley, and basil. Spices like turmeric, cumin, coriander, and fennel. I've only named a few here, but there are unlimited amount of spices. I have 3 drawers full and it still doesn't feel like enough. I love to make spices or herb mixes. It makes them much easier to use and you can throw them into just about anything, whether it's dressings, curries, pastas, or marinade. But if you want to learn more about your spice box and how easy it is to use your spices, check out the last video in this series. Many of our plant-based proteins are also rich in these phytonutrients. Things like tofu, tempeh, edamame beans, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, they are all rich in phytonutrients too. And fiber. Both of these reduce and protect against inflammation. So many studies have now confirmed that choosing plant-based proteins over animal proteins can not only reduce inflammation, but are recommended for prevention of heart disease and cancer. So really all you need to include in your diet are some fruits and veggies, some really good healthy fats, some plant protein, and a whole lot of spices and herbs. But what do you need to avoid? It's all the usual culprits. Dairy, especially cheese. Meat, especially red meat. Avoiding late night eating and drinking. Alcohol, smoking cigarettes, overeating of any kind. Foods that are overly processed like cakes, biscuits, white bread, cereals, pastas, white pastas, refined flours, refined sugars, sweets, everything. Essentially, try and eat fewer foods that come from a package and more foods that come from the ground. Remember, this is just one part of my inflammation series, so definitely watch the rest of my videos if you want to learn more.